hear me okay now? Can you hear me talking? Yeah, sure, Mr. A. People can hear me talking, I hope. Can someone confirm in the chat if they can hear me? Okay, thanks. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a new item to the game. It's going to be used as a debug tool, but if you watch the steps I go through, you'll understand what I need to do to add a new item to the game. So the first thing I need to do is go into this file here and add the item to the list of items here. So we always add it to the end. So I'm going to call it debug tool. Next thing I need to do is add it to the shops. So go into the shop screen here. Decide where to put it. I'll probably put it just after the staves. Or I might put it after the guns. Grenades, shield badge leaks. Actually, I'll put it after the chisel. Is about, I think, probably a good place. Now I'll put it before the decal applicator, after the res and before the decal applicator. So I'll put it there. So it's now in the shop. Hopefully the background noise is not too loud. My daughter's watching some cartoon, so I can't really turn it down. Next thing I need to do is go into the XML file for the model, for the items, and add an entry in there. So I pick some item which is going to be similar. I think at the moment a staff will be similar, so I'll just pick any staff, and copy that as a template. So this XML entry basically defines the properties about the item. So the item type will be just an item, I think. Subtype none, class class will be I think can't mine is probably a useful class because it won't be used for mining anyway. Use model type is probably items probably good enough, but good enough. Combat item. None. Disabled. Is valid true. There's no proxy, so that's just itself. Price will be 1 gold piece. Durability, well, it can be anything really, so make it 10,000. Swing type. Item. No damage. Strike reach doesn't matter for that. We're not using it. So for this, I'll copy the same properties from the stick. Top left, bottom right. The stick would have been a much better one to use from the start. I'll go through and do that. Replace it all. So item, none, none. I will actually make that count to mine. So no need, there's not going to be a blueprint for it. Locked DD means locked and dig deep. So if that's false, it'll be unlocked and dig deep from the beginning, and there's no blueprint for it. There's no need for a blueprint for it. So we'll leave that. Price needs to be at least 1 in order to buy something from the shop. So we can't make it 0. Actually, we might better make it 0. We'll make it 1. 10,000. Stick is 0. Oh, 0 durability. Leave it at 0. Left hand, right hand doesn't matter. Not damage, not reach. Doesn't burn in the furnace. Debug tools, they're all finesse. So that's there. Next we need to add an entry into the combat, I think. Do we? No, we don't, because it doesn't have a combat thing. Sound, I think we need one sound data. That just defines the sounds that's going to be are used when it's swung, when the item is swung. So it'll sound just like any wood items when you swing them. Sound swing data. I think nothing. Don't need anything there. The last entries in the skill data, every item needs a skill data entry. Although there'll be no skill stuff attached to this item, it'll just be usable. Normally, this is here where normally I'd define the required skills needed for the item, to use the item, to craft it, to mine with it, etc. And of course, if it was going to be a craftable item, I would have to add an entry into the blueprint file here, which defines the recipes for the item crafting. So that's it in terms of adding it into the game. And the other thing I need to do now is add a texture for it into the texture packs. So I'll open the texture packs. I'll just add it into into a couple of them at the moment, just to save a bit of time. So I added into HD and remade. One's in HD, one's in SD. So that needs to go into the item texture pack. And just for laughs, I think I'll use the little wand icon that's here in paint.net, which I'll have to get Stephen to replace once he gets online. Or I could use a magnifying glass. I'll use this one for now. So that's 16 by 16, which is absolutely perfect for what I want. I'll make that transparent. Stephen does all the texture pack stuff. All I do is when I add something new, I just make a placeholder graphic for it and then let Stephen know that we need a proper texture, and he will go away and do that and then send it back to me. So there we go, we've got a temporary debug tool graphic texture. Put that at the end. Now for the HD ones, I just need to expand it. So I'll just resize it by 4 times. It's a bit chunky, but that'll do for a placeholder. No, sorry, I did that wrong. It should be resized 2 times, because icons are only 32 in the HD texture packs. There we go. So save that. Save that. Now when I run the game, in theory, that item should now be available. Actually, I'll just make code in the change it needs to actually be usable, which is down here. So now if you swing a debug tool item at a mob, it will it'll show up the behavior tree debug system for that mob or NPC. In theory. So it should be located just after the res. I thought I put it in there. Ah, is it because I haven't? There we go, it needs to be enabled. So it should now be, there it is. So that's a debug tool. Now if I swing that at a mob, there you go, it's showing the debug screen for that mob. Now if you swing the tool away from any, so it's not aiming at any mob, then it just makes the debug display go away. Alright, well, the werewolf found me and shot me. If I make myself Zeus, he won't be able to kill me. I thought that was on. Anyway. There shooting a gun. Ah. Well, that didn't work too well, did it? I can't use Zeus, I have to do something, I have to make something about that. The problem with Zeus is that his reach is so far that it's actually registered that as a hit, a strike, and killed the mob at the same time. One hit killed the mob, so you have to do something about that. I can actually fix that pretty quickly. Just return. Werewolf AI. The swing hand node, he's got a gun in his hand, so the swing hand node actually causes him to swing the gun, which shoots the gun, which executes a script, an item swing script, which does a gun script. I'll show you the script here. Simulate gunfire, so it does an intersect test, and if any players or mobs intersect the ray from that shoots out, the ray goes straight from his gun to straight out in front of him, whichever way he's facing. And if it intersects a player or a mob, it sets the context to that whoever was intersected by the ray and reduces their health by 25. So that's how the gun script works. It's very simple, just to get rid of that stuff. 6 lines of script, very simple. So if I equip myself with a gun, it has to be, in this case, a semi-automatic. I can do the same thing. You can see that orc is eating when its health went low. That's part of its AI. I'll show you that with the debug here. You can see this that the second line down. I can't actually use the mouse. One sec. I'll probably have to go like that. So it goes into this node. It checks his health, and if his health is lower than a certain amount, it checks the equipment type in his hand, and if the equipment, in this case, if the equipment type is edible, so it's some food item, then if in one chance in two it will swing that hand, which causes him to eat that food and regenerate his health. The random's used just so that he does actually try and fight back a little bit in between eating, so it's not just constant eating if he gets low in health. So that's all that is. It's that one line there, and I've actually saved that line. That is actually a separate behavior in itself, which is called an eating left hand behavior, and you can think of it as like a mini script. So it just defines those four nodes. So you can see if the health is less than 50% and the equipment type is edible, and random one chance out of two, it swings the left hand, and then so the actual main AI, we'll say in this case the orc AI, it uses what's called a proxy node to pull that mini behavior in here. So you can see it's in here. So it's like it's a modular system, so you can create sort of more small discrete pieces of AI and then pull them into your main AI here. So I'll give you an example. Like if I put a proxy item here at the bottom of update, and I'll just call it eating again. You see it's pulled that eating one in again. Now you can see the property window at the bottom is dark grey, because that means you can't edit the properties on these. They're locked in because it's coming from another tree, a small subtree. Now the main benefit of this is you can create like a library of small discrete behaviors and then incorporate those into your other main AIs. And so if I now go and change these, and these proxies are pulled in to this main AI when the mob actually is spawned. So if I now go and change the eating left hand behavior, that change will be reflected in the main AI here immediately. So that's another benefit, is that instead of just copying the stuff all over the place, and then if you make a change you have to change it all over the place, you can make one version of it, put it in elsewhere using the proxy node, and then if you want to change it you just have to change it in one place and then it will change everywhere else as well. I'll show you, I'll pull in the werewolf main AI just to give you another idea of what it actually looks like. So I think that's called main, I think. No, it's called ranged, werewolf ranged. So you can see it's now pulled in that entire tree. That was the werewolf tree, and it's even included the sub proxies as well. So I'll get rid of that. Now you see these two here. There's two eating left hand ones here. So if I save that and go back and edit the eating one, let's say I just for an explanation, if I just add I'll just add a couple of things at the end here. Put that there. Put that there, just so you can see how it's different. Now if I save that, and now reload the awk behavior again, you can see it's pulled in those changes automatically. The proxy changes are now automatically reflected again here. So that's the benefit of the proxy node. So I'll save that. Go back to that eating one and fix it to how it should be. Just by removing this random stuff I added. Save that. Go back into the awk one again, and you can see it's restored back to how it should be. So at the moment it looks like the zombies are winning this war. The orcs is kind of still in it, but a little bit overwhelmed. The werewolves are just completely overwhelmed. It's because the werewolf spawn rate is actually pretty slow compared to the others. So if I speed up the spawn rate of the werewolves, just make it 3. The other one's spawn rate is 2. Let's see if that gives them a chance to get back in the fight. The benefit a zombie has is if you just werewolf, because he's got a ranged weapon, if he just goes and stands on the side like this, you can just pick them off one by one until one of them comes and takes him out. Three werewolves now. Might be enough to get them a bit of a foothold. Show you the different guns. You've got revolver, semi-automatic, elder pistol, shotgun, golden SMG, spider SMG, laser blaster, plasma rifle, assault rifle, heavy assault rifle, combo assault rifle, minigun, sniper rifle, and grenade launcher, which you already know about. So that's the revolver. That's the elder pistol, shotgun, golden SMG, laser blaster, plasma rifle, assault rifle. There's only 2 sounds. There's just the pistol sound and the 3 sounds in the machine gun sound and the laser sound. I might put some more sounds in later, and the sniper rifle. show you the staves. So we've got the natural staff, light staff, dark staff, spider staff. These look much better actually on the HD texture pack. Ocean staff, necromancer staff, spider staff, dark staff, light staff, natural staff. And the guns look quite a bit better on HD as well. Pistol, outer pistol, shotgun, golden SMG, spider SMG, laser blaster, plasma rifle, assault rifle, heavy assault, combo minigun, and sniper. So these guns don't do anything, they're just purely for scripters to make use of. There's no built-in functionality. Like there's nothing assigned to a sniper, so if I shoot that thing, nothing happens. Can't mine, can't do anything with them. They just do absolutely nothing. So that can only be used by scripters. I don't know if you've seen this. This is a sentry style mob. So he protects that block there, the spawn block. He protects that up to a distance, so if I get within a certain distance of it, I think the distance is like 15 blocks are set to or something, then he will attack me until I die or until I move away again. And if I move enough far away again, he'll return back to his block. So that's like a guard type behavior. Very simple one. Sentry guard. So if the NPC can see you, if you're less than 15 blocks from the spawn block, his spawn block, he will attack you. Otherwise, he'll move back to his spawn block. So he'll basically move position 0 relative to his spawn block. If I made that 1, he would move to 1 block to the right, or 1 block to the side of the spawn block. So there you have it. I'm going to wrap up this stream for a while and go and have some dinner and things like that. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all later.